Hello and welcome to Natilik Live. My name is Matt Starling. I am a wireless project engineer for Natilik and I'm joined here today with...
Mike. I'm also a project wireless engineer working for Natilik. Welcome.
So thanks for joining us today. Today's session is for us to talk around the benefits and reasons on why you would have a wireless survey, some of the challenges and our experience doing wireless surveys and the different types of surveys that we can offer. So do you want to start by saying like kind of one of the reasons why we'd have a wireless site survey?
Yeah, of course. So we would like to have a network that performs really fast and nice. And in order to have this kind of wireless network, we want to plan for it properly. And to plan for the quick wireless network, we want to survey the site that we go to. And we want to make sure that we are using correct number of access points, type of access points, antennas, mount them properly in correct locations, and we understand how it's going to affect the performance of our network moving forward.
Yep, so some of the reasons why customers may want to have a wireless site survey is because some of the kit maybe that they have currently is coming to end of life. They may be having some wireless issues at the moment that would benefit from having a wireless survey to identify them.
And also, even if the network doesn't have issues, it just maybe not fit for purpose anymore. So it will need to be redesigned and made faster, made better. That is why we might want to take a look at it.
Exactly. So customers are just looking for an upgrade. There's so much more demand around wireless and its capabilities that potentially customers' current infrastructure can't support that. So that's why they need to have a wireless site survey to come in and design and plan like a good working wireless network for them.
Of course. And how would we approach working on a predictive site survey or any type of site survey? What tools do we use? How do we do it?
Sure. So the tools that we use is called a Ecal Site Survey Pro software, and we also use their product which is called the Ecal Sidekick. So for doing a predictive site survey, we would use the Ecal Site Survey tool to load in kind of floor plans from customers that they provided to us. Also, from a meeting that we'd have with clients, we'd gather requirements from what they're looking for over the voice. If it's what type of deployment they're looking for, may be different. So you want to just talk around what kind of different deployments a customer might want?
That would be my pleasure. It's not like one design will fit all the deployments that we are talking about. So we can have enterprise wireless, which will be completely different to wireless in a warehouse.
Yes.
Education will be completely different. Hospitality will also be different. All these networks, they can be optimized for voice, for video, for location tracking, basic data connectivity. So we have to really be careful about how we approach designing the network and thinking about the purpose of the network, because we don't want to overkill it and we don't want it to not be good enough.
Exactly. So going back to why we do a predictive site survey is we would gather the requirements from the customer if they want voice, location or basic coverage, get the floor plans. From the floor plans we would also scope what's in scope and what's out of scope, and then once we've loaded the floor plans into the survey tool, we can draw the walls, doors, windows, holes in floors, lots of different parameters into the surveying software. Also, we can put in capacity requirements, so areas that have got high capacity, areas maybe at slightly lower capacity, take all of that into consideration. But there's probably one factor that we haven't mentioned yet, which we would definitely want to factor in, and that would be from going on site to collect some very important information, which I'll let you explain.
Going on site is really crucial, and it's always an element which is skipped and omitted from predictive site survey. Going on site, it gives us a chance to take a look at the existing spectrum, which is local to the site that we are surveying, right? We will take a look at the local interferences, look for radar activity, which might affect number of 5 GHz channels that we can use on site. It can completely, cross 2.4 GHz, so it's possible that we cannot use 2.4 at all, and we'll have to stick to 5 only. We'll also measure the attenuation of walls and all the elements that can affect how wireless waves they propagate throughout the building.
And then what we do is we take all of that information, we put it into the software, and that gives us a real good idea and very accurate design that we can put together for this type of site survey. But there is also another...
And that's one of our surveys, right?
That's one
from
of our
4 Ps. Let's talk about second P. So we have 4 Ps. It's a predictive site survey, and then the second P would be pre-deployment.
Pre-deployment site survey.
Post-deployment.
Yep.
And periodic site survey. Which leads us to the second one, pre-deployment site survey. What is so special about pre-deployment site survey? Where would we like to use pre-deployment?
Sure. So a pre-deployment site survey is, we tend to do that on a more challenging environment where we need to really go and maybe put an actual physical access point on a stick, like a tripod is what it's called, an AP on a stick site survey, but what we do is we put an AP on a tripod, we then use a battery pack, and then we walk around and collect data of what the actual RF is going to look like from maybe metal materials or very challenging environment that we actually need to collect the real RF to be able to use that to model into our
So basically
design.
Everywhere that we feel it's not feasible to do a predictive site survey, to simulate it in a simulation software like how, it makes a lot of sense to bring AP on a stick and check if whatever we are planning will really work in a real environment.
Exactly.
Okay, and the third survey?
Is the post-deployment site survey, which we would look to use and do after we've done our predictive design, the access points and controllers have been installed. We've given it a few days for the radio resource manager to settle down, and we've got real-life clients in using the network. We then go back to site, the post-RF survey to gather what it really looks like, give us very clear in detail for how it's working, and we can make any necessary tweaks to the environment if it's going to be the channels, the power, and to optimize it.
That's correct. And also it's worth mentioning that post-deployment site survey is done with a full house of people. So we will have a full utilization of the wireless network. We'll be able to see if it really is suitable to serve all those online clients connected to the access points that we've designed. And finally document all the deployment, which will be a very, very good point for future reference.
So what is our final P?
Our final P is a periodic site survey, which is also called a health check.
Sure.
And whatever we designed a couple of months ago might not be suitable anymore. That is why, a couple of months ago, that is why we would like to go back to see if the network still is performing optimally, if it's still fit for purpose. Maybe the requirements have changed. Maybe it was designed for basic data connectivity, and now we need the network to start taking voice calls, and we will be able to capture it all while doing it.
The environment may have changed. Someone may have brought in their own wireless access point or router from home and plugged it in, which is now serving as a rogue access point, causing interference. Can identify all of that.
Layout of meeting rooms, maybe new walls. Some walls that were.
Exactly, may have changed, something might have
Exactly.
moved, so that's why we do that. So that's how we do the kind of site surveys and our different types of site surveys that we do. Now, where would we do them? What kind of enterprises would we be doing these surveys at?
We can do a predictive site survey and then a survey, really, for...
Pretty much any kind of...
The more challenge, more fun. So if we have very, very difficult environments, we like it even more. Listed buildings, something completely weird with completely different layout, it would be really, really pleasure to design a network for.
Sure. So we're talking about offices, warehouses, retail, shopping, education, outdoor, any kind of environment that you have that you require wireless for, we can help you with your wireless network and giving you a good survey with a very good kind of that wireless deployment for your network.
That's it.
So kind of that's pretty much what we wanted to kind of give you guys an insight on Natilik's wireless portfolio. And if there's kind of anything else that you need or want from us, then there'll be a link below or above this video where you can get in contact with us for us to be able to come and help you with your wireless network.
Thanks.
Thank you.